Hello, everybody. Welcome and good morning to today's session, HCL Safelinx and how to securely connect to your infrastructure. My name is Thomas Hampel, and today I'm the host of this session. Let me quickly introduce myself. I'm the HCL director at HCL Product Management, responsible for the Domino server, the Nomad portfolio, and all things security. And I'm very proud to be able today to provide you this session together with my colleagues here on stage, which on my left side where are you? Top or bottom? Ketan Godhaniya, who is a product manager at HCL Software. He's responsible for the Safelinx product that we're talking about. Ketan has joined HCL in 2018, and before he worked at various startups in India. Ketan, just say hello to the audience.
Hello, Thomas. Thank you for the introduction. So, my name is Ketan, and I am a product manager at Safelinx, and I am working with Domino offering management team. Thank you. And today I am going to talk about, the Safelinx and, what's ahead for Safelinx roadmap and the future. Thank you.
All right, and another friend and colleague here on stage together with me, Christoph Adler, a shooting star in the Nodes Domino world. You all probably know him. He is working at Panagenda, and they're being responsible for the Nodes client. He's well known for squeezing the last bit of performance out of the Nodes client. So Chris, hello, and on stage together with me.
Good morning, everyone, and hi, Thomas. Thank you for the introduction.
All right. So before we jump into the topic, let me just clarify a little bit of the logistics here. First of all, the attendees need to know that you can ask questions. There is a chat section, so please submit your questions if you have any to our operators, and we are going to address these questions at the end of the talk. So there is a Q&A section that we'll use to answer your questions. And secondly, of course, I'll have to include this legal disclaimer because we are going to talk about the future-looking products and so on. So please be aware of that. All right, so let's get started. You might be wondering why actually are we doing this? Why is Christoph Adler here on stage? Christoph Adler, the Nodes guy, and Thomas being the Domino guy. Why are we doing this session? And the reason being that we all have seen in the last couple of months that the IT industry had to change quite a bit. All of a sudden, customers that are using our portfolio had to change their traditional way of delivering IT services. So end users, customers that were traditionally working in classic Office, all of a sudden had to change their IT environment to allow employees to work from home due to the pandemic going on. And because Chris and me are working with Nodes and Domino, we are in touch with a number of customers who all of a sudden were in the situation of quickly having to change the IT offerings within their company. And you see here, I'm using a survey or, well, a picture from Forbes that outlines what or who did contribute to the digital transformation of your company the most. And as you can see, it's not the CEO or the CTO of the company. What we have seen is that in the last couple of months, COVID-19 kicked off a big number of changes in the IT industry. So in this talk, we would like to share a few ideas on how you can use your existing product portfolio to support this transition. And this, of course, to be done with one of the gold nuggets in our product portfolio. Probably it's not known to everybody here in this call. It's a product called HCL Safelinx. And we are going to explain where you can use this to your benefit. And for this reason, I have invited my colleague and friend Ketan to provide us a first introduction on what Safelinx actually is all about. So after Ketan does provide you with an overview, we are then going to dig into the more technical side of things. So Ketan, can I ask you to give a bit of an overview of what Safelinx is and tell the audience more about it?
Yeah, so next slide, please. Okay, so good morning, all of you. So, I would like to discuss, some of the challenges we face in a current time due to COVID-19 situation across the globe. Due to this, the remote work is a new norm, and there is a huge demand for a security product which can help employee to connect his or her company intranet in a very secure and cost-effective way. So, the solution should be the geo independence, and the same time, an employer wants their employee to be stay productive. So, these are a couple of challenges we face in a current time. However, some of the challenges we faced before COVID too. So, we are going to address those challenges, how the Safelinx can help us. Next slide, please. All right. Okay. So now let's go into user's mind. What's the employee's expectations, user's expectations when he or she, uses remote secure access. So, basically it should be easy to use, and, it should be within few clicks, user should able to log in. And second thing is, it should support all the major operating system, and it should support all the possible devices, because in this time, users might use a Windows laptop, Mac OS, or Android mobile, or iOS, so it should support all of them. And from employers perspective, they would like to expose their IT network, and wants their employee to connect their intranet in a most secure way from outside, with the build strategy, bring your own device strategy. So, we have a two different personas, like employer and a users, and they have their set of goals. Next slide, please. So, let me introduce, Safelinx. Like, how do we solve that specific challenges and the problem of employer and the user? So, what is Safelinx? Safelinx is basically an enterprise-grade VPN. So, basically, it provides secure and rich connections to business applications and data anywhere, anytime, in a highly secure manner, on however, on which physical network you are in. And it supports desktop, laptop, and select mobile devices with all standard authentication methods, SSO, two-factor authentications, and so on. And apart from enterprise VPN capability, it offers a reverse proxy capability too, like a clientless HTTP access. So, this is a overall introduction, a definition of a new product. Earlier, it was known as IBM Mobile Connect, IMC, but HCL has rebranded it into HCL Safelinx. Next slide, please. All right. So, now let's see how you can use Safelinx. So on my left side, this is a typical, work from home setup, standard laptop, desktop, or both, or for mobile device. And let's consider a possibility. If you are a Domino customer, and then you really don't require a VPN client to access Domino applications, like HCL connections, same time verse, etc. For that, you can use a Safelinx reverse proxy capability. You just need to configure it, Safelinx reverse you just need to configure reverse proxy capability, and just you can access Domino server without need of any additional VPN client, right? And additionally, the customer can leverage the capability of VPN too, with the outside of Domino applications. For example, if you would like to use any web app files or any other applications which are hosted on a non-domino server. So you can leverage two key functionalities with the Safelinx VPN and reverse proxy. All right. So on September 2020 this year, we released HCL Safelinx, and I would like to share a most exciting news with you. If you are a CCB customers, meaning like Notes and Domino complete collaboration customer, then you can get a Safelinx 1.1 as a free entitlement, absolutely free. So Safelinx complete will be bundled with the CCB, and you can leverage a VPN as well as reverse proxy. So in this slide, there is a QR code, so which will redirect to the blog link, and it will have all the necessary information. And all right, of course, if you are a non-CCB customers, meaning like if you don't have a bundle or a CCB bundle, and if you are a normal Domino customers, then Safelinx available as a standalone product, with the price per user, meaning one license, it includes all supported server and all supported clients. So Safelinx will be available as a standalone for all non-CCB customers and free for CCB customers. All right. So now let's see like why Safelinx matters. I would like to discuss some of the parameters with you. So we do have a lot of customers who are using Safelinx, including one of the leading bank in Europe and one of the big four customers in North America. So Safelinx is not just popular in Domino customers, but as well as many non-Domino customers too, as well as one of the big oil and gas company in North America too. And the IBM is one of the oldest user of Safelinx, and they are using it in various geographic locations. And we got mentioned in some of the leading analyst reports too. And if you compare the Safelinx capability with the the other enterprise VPN products, then we really in pair with all those enterprise VPN product in the market. So like we offer all the capabilities which all other solutions are offering. And like we are really flexible when it comes to a deployment, we offer on-prem as well as on cloud, and as well as we offer standard HCL lab services as well, where we can help you to configure all of your IT needs when you are configuring VPN and Safelinx, and it includes standard support as well. And like for pricing, it's first of all, it's a free for CCB customer. Okay, let me repeat you. And second, for Safelinx standalone, so no more PVU model, no more complexity. We introduced easy and flexible pricing. So basically it's a per user model, as I mentioned earlier. So for single license, it includes all supported server and all supported clients. And customer can opt either VPN or either reverse proxy, or they are free to use both of the capabilities. So this is a general introduction about the product, and we are planning to release the next version on like mid of 2021 with some of the new exciting features.
All right. Thank you, Ketan, for that. Now that we all know what the high-level positioning of HCL Safelinx is, let's get more into the technical side of things, which I would like to talk about. I think it's great news for all the Notes Domino customers out there that if you have your Notes Domino license as a CCB license, then it's completely free of charge. So then you could use Safelinx for two things. I mean, Safelinx is actually one product that has two main features in one, as Ketan just said. One is the HTTP reverse proxy, which allows to expose your internal web-based applications to an external URL. The benefit of this is that end users only have to remember one single URL to start with, and then you just configure Safelinx to point to your backend server, to the server that you want to the service that you want to expose. It is independent from the operating system. I mean, the HTTP proxy just proxies HTTP traffic regardless on what browser you're running on. It's just transparent to end users. And of course, you can configure single sign-on between your Safelinx server and your backend HCL systems. Of course, it's highly integrated with the popular HCL services like Traveler, Node, same-time connections, and so on. But it also, besides being an HTTP reverse proxy server, it also provides true VPN client capabilities for Android, Windows, and Mac OS. All of this providing one single entry point to your corporate environment, meaning you have the ability to configure central authentication using either username and password, or if you like, you can also configure certificate-based authentication. You can configure two-factor authentication, for instance, using TOTP, which is one type of two-factor authentication standard, or if you like, you can also configure the well-known RSA tokens. Safelinx runs against an LDAP, so the authentication can be configured to be used against an LDAP, for instance, Domino as an LDAP, or if you have an Active Directory. And it can, of course, be tightly integrated into mobile device management systems. With that, providing an entry point to your company and also providing load balancing and failover support. What I have to highlight here is Safelinx is rock solid. It scales, it performs, it's very secure. And that's why Chris and me said, this is so interesting. We have to tell the Russian Nodes user group about it because it helped us along the way in the last couple of months quite a bit. And to provide you an idea of where Safelinx can be used, we have created a few scenarios to better describe this. Now, for better explaining the scenario, we need an example. We need a person to help with explaining the scenario. And Chris, I hope you don't mind if I'm choosing you to be the person here that I'm going to put on the spot. Let's say we have an employee of a company, say Chris, the business person, who all of a sudden is facing the new work environment caused by the worldwide pandemic. So all of a sudden we are closing the offices and all of a sudden Chris has to work remote. I mean, Chris, I hope you are okay with you being the guinea pig here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So please correct me if these scenarios are working fine for you, but when you are not in the office, that the very first thing you would like to get is, of course, mobile access to your PIM, meaning email, calendar, contacts, right?
Absolutely, and I mean, this was also the case before. I have to say that. I am as a technical consultant. I wouldn't say I live on the street, but I'm often visiting customers. You know what I mean, right? And I mean, we are meeting us at all the conferences worldwide, and from time to time also at customers, if you remember. So yeah, I use my mobile devices, and that is very useful, to be honest. And funny enough, I do have the exact same devices as you can see here right now. So yes, I do all the stuff with email, calendar, contacts on my typically on my smartphone, but also a couple of times on my tablet, on my iPad, and yeah, I like to do that.
Mm-hmm. But we have to say that in many companies, mobile devices are not something. It's not provided to all users, so it still is something that only exposed users, salespeople have been equipped with. And Chris, you obviously being a power user here, so we want to make sure that you can get your work done. So there is.
And I'm not a salesperson. Sorry to interrupt you.
I'm just saying, in general, people on the road have the need of quickly, getting in touch with others. So email, calendar, contact is the first thing to start with. The only problem is these devices, when you are on the road, they're not connected to your enterprise. They are connected to the internet. And so how can you actually connect back to your corporate environment? Well, what can the IT team do? We can of course run this type of setup. So Chris would install the HCL Verse mobile application for iOS and Android on his device. We would, on an IT perspective, we would install an HCL Traveler server in the DMZ, which then connects back to your Domino server that is located on the intranet. This is a very common scenario for many customers out there. It serves people well, and yeah, it can provide high availability if you want. And yeah, that actually works. And so to say, it should be everything that we need to do on an IT perspective to make Chris completely happy and make him productive. So I think, Chris, we're done with that. So I think you must be perfectly happy with this scenario, right?
Thomas, how can I start? So it would be too easy. It would be too easy to make me happy, like with this scenario, right? No, honestly, I like to have that. That is everything you described is very useful. But I have to admit that from time to time, I need a real keyboard. I think you know what I mean. So what do you think? And I also not always using my very own devices. So do you think it would be possible to also do the same work from a browser perspective on a computer?
Of course, we would not be giving this presentation if I would not have an answer to that. So what would we do on the IT side? Well, what Chris is asking for is browser access to your calendar, contacts, and email. And browser access is, of course, provided by HCL Verse in the browser. And we need to do a little bit more than installing a Traveler server because we need an entry point to our environment. So what we would be doing is we would use our gold nugget HCL Safelinx configured as a proxy server. As you can see here below, we are using just one URL to remember as a single unified entry point for mobile devices and for browsers. So technically, we have just moved the Traveler server from the DMZ back to the intranet. So the only machine in the DMZ is the Safelinx server. And with this simple change, Chris is now able to use the browser and his mobile devices to get work done. So he's fully equipped with everything he needs to be productive on the road. Chris, that's it, right?
My answer is haha. So yes, again, it makes me kind of happy. May I say it this way? So as I said, I very often use my PIM, my calendar, my mail, my contacts and applications, and I'm happy to use this on my mobile devices and on my browser on computers. But I have to say, in those times, you started this session with the topic of how COVID-19 kicked in this year for all of us and changed the way we are working and also we are living, kind of. So what I'm missing here is something what everybody is doing, not only in business, but also in private sector. And that means if I'm on the road, or if I'm here in my home office, I often have to make discussions or start conversations with my internal experts, let's say it this way, and also do web meetings, so instant messaging and web meetings with my internal colleagues, and also with customers and prospects. So how can I face that challenge?
Of course, you are giving me just a very little challenge because what we would have to do from an IT point of view is to install an HCL Safelinx environment. So Safelinx being a chat server and also providing the capability to do online meetings. And what you would have to do on your side is to either install the HCL same time mobile apps on the phone or use your web browser to host online web meetings with audio and video. That means while you are on the road, when you work from a home office, you can quickly set up virtual conference to talk to your customers, to talk to your peers, and help them out. You can do online video meetings with like audio and video being configured. Also, HCL Safelinx is the entry point to our corporate chat environment, so you can chat with our employees. This all of course being completely in line with GDPR regulations. So this is a secure environment in your intranet. That's why we are using Safelinx to have just one entry point to your company, to our company, to provide all the IT services that Christopher needs to get work done. So in short, Chris, you have a browser, you have mobile devices, now you have secure chat and online meetings. So that must be it. You think you must be perfectly up and running to be fully productive, right?
I should be happy, right? So
yes, you
again,
should.
thank you very much for offering all those fantastic services. I made to add something here before I give you an answer. I just want to point out, and you already said that that I love that the same time solution can be used on premises as well as in your, let's say, private cloud in your data center of choice, because this really makes the difference in this time to not have a chat and persistent chat solution, which and this online meeting solution, which will be provided by cloud provider. So I really like to see that. So that is very helpful, and this also makes my internal IT people happy. I'm again kind of happy, but I miss one thing. I'm a customer-facing person, and I do a lot of, as I said, video meetings, and I'm if COVID-19 is over and I can start visiting my customers again and I'm on site then, what I typically do after visiting a customer is I send out customer surveys or feedback forms, and I have to say that I'm not a developer, but I have created those surveys by myself with HCL Domino Vault. So is it also possible to get a connection to Domino Vault using Safelinx?
Okay, yeah, good point. And of course, we have to provide you with this functionality, which means we install HCL Domino Vault on top of our existing Domino server in our intranet. And using our HCL Safelinx server, this is just exposed as a web application to you out there, meaning you would be using the same proxy server, the same authentication to connect back into your Vault server. And with that, you can build your survey forms just in the browser. You don't have to be a developer. It's all just point and click, and really you can get your applications developed really quickly. And yeah, like I said, all of this is running in the browser. So there is no change for you. There is just a small change on the Safelinx server to add an additional proxy rule. And like I said, on the backend, installing Vault on top of Domino. So that should make you happy, finally.
that should make me happy, right? I wouldn't be Christoph Adler if I would have one other scenario, right? So let me ask you one thing, and I think a lot of people having the same situation as I do, or I have, is I'm on the road, and we do have a lot of Domino applications in our environment. And one of my Domino applications is, for instance, my personal time tracking. The other one is a project database, a CRM system. All the stuff I need to work together with customers. By the way, if I'm on the road driving to a customer, I typically need the address, which is also part of our contact CRM system on Domino. So let me ask you that question. Do I need a laptop to touch or to open those Domino applications, or can I just use one of my mobile devices? And I have to add that I would love to just do it by my smartphone, because if I'm in the car, I don't want to pick out my tablet or my computer. I just want to pick out my smartphone, make my time tracking correct, find out addresses, and just use a couple of Domino databases. Would that be possible?
I see, and certainly it used to be a challenge. A couple of years ago, a number of Domino applications on our intranet can only be used by the Nodes client. But good news, since HCL took over the product portfolio from IBM, there is a new method, a new way to access your existing Domino applications, and it's called HCL Nomad. In this case, it's HCL Nomad on your mobile device. So what you would have to do is to go to the App Store of Apple or Android, search for HCL Nomad, and install the free of charge Nomad client. This will then allow you to connect back into the Domino server. I have updated this chart over here because in this configuration, I have to point out for our network administrators that the connection between the Safelinx server and the Domino server is going to be on the NRPC protocol. So the firewall between the DMZ and the intranet needs to allow the NRPC traffic. But in short, that means you don't have to redevelop your applications. You just install Nomad, and the existing Nodes application just works on a mobile device. And bear with me a second. I am providing 2 QR codes for the audience. So if someone in the audience has not heard of HCL Nomad before, please take your smartphone, take a screenshot or point the camera at the QR code, scan the QR code, and that will redirect you to the App Store of like Android on the right side or iOS on the left side, so that you can install the application right away. I also mentioned a couple of configuration details here, and we have to deviate a bit from the slide deck just to outline what the network situation looks like. So in a typical environment, you have your Nodes client connecting to your Domino domain using port 1352, which means the Nodes client communicates directly with your Domino server. And that's all okay on the intranet, but once your Nodes client is on the web, there is a firewall in between, one or actually sometimes even 2 firewalls, which prevent the usage of port 1352 in many cases. Here on the left side, you can also see Nomad iOS, Nomad Android, also using the same TCP/IP port to connect to your Domino servers. And we have seen network administrators asking, is there any way to change the network port to something that is more popular, more known in the industry? And with HCL Safelinx, that is actually possible. So for Nomad, you can use Safelinx as a proxy server to proxy between the different protocols. So here on the lower left side, you see Nomad on iOS communicating with the Safelinx proxy that we have just installed over port 443. And then on the back end, Safelinx communicates with your Domino server still on port 1352. So there is no change for the Domino server, but there is a big change towards the internet communication. Another small teaser you've seen the picture to the top left has changed. It's displaying browser clients. And this is a little teaser for a presentation that we are going to have tomorrow about something that is brand new. It's called HCL Nomad Web. It is the ability to open up Notes applications directly in your browser without the need to install anything on your computer. It just runs in the browser. So small teaser, please join my session tomorrow. I think it's at 1500 at 3 o'clock on Thursday. And also please, if you are interested in HCL Nomad Web, we are currently running a public beta. If you would like to join, make sure to scan this QR code, and this will redirect you to a sign-up form. And on the sign-up form, please make sure to enable this checkbox here, checkbox number 6, web browser. This is going to be what you need for participating in the beta. Yeah, sorry for this small interruption here, but clearly going back to our slide or our scenario here, it is of course possible, Chris, to run your Notes applications on a mobile device. As you just heard, it's HCL Nomad, and with just a small configuration change on our backend, we can bring the existing CRM applications and then the complex applications to your mobile device. So Chris, now you're ready to go, you're ready to rock the show and can be productive on the road, right?
You know what? It's not good. It's not good when I start with a sentence with "you know what," right? So now I liked everything I see here right now. Just just one thing came to my mind, and I promise it's the last thing. It may sound silly to you, maybe because it not sounds very modern, but rarely I need access to a couple of our file servers and printers. Yeah, still printing could be a topic for me in one of our locations in Vienna, Heppenheim, or Boston. And additionally to that, we do have an internal ERP system, and I need to work on that. And this is not available, by the way, to the outside world right now. And then the very last thing, and I think we forgot about that, is my Notes client. So what about also my Notes client, my classic Notes client I'm using nearly every day, where I just replicate a couple of databases with knowledge databases and stuff like that locally to my disk. So how can I face all those challenges?
You got me. It seems like we have to enable another function of the HCL Safelinx server, which finally is the full VPN capability of Safelinx. VPN means that you have to install a VPN client on your machine, which will then open up a communication tunnel, a secure tunnel back into the intranet. So your computer technically is behaving as it would be on the corporate network. And that will give you full access to all the defined services. So if we have exposed file and print, if we have allowed the ERP system, the SAP or whatever you said, to be accessible, then you will be able to use that. And of course, the Notes client using nRPC on the client side can also directly communicate with the Domino server. And with that, yeah, you can take your local replica to your installed Notes client, which, by the way, also HCL Nomad is supporting. So if you want to have a local replica, you can have it on a smartphone as well. But I understand you want to use your beloved Notes client, so that's all good. We can provide this. And like I said, HCL Safelinx is going to make Chris happy. So finally, I hope we got it.
This is true now, and it would be rude to say no, because now I got all my services I need on all my devices, of course. And I also have to say, and I think I already did, so I repeated myself, this will not only make me happy, but also our IT department, because it makes it more secure and less complex in the same way, right?
All right, so finally we got it. So Chris now has everything he needs. Of course, mail, applications, access to corporate services from his mobile devices, desktop, notebook, what have you. Key services are exposed to the browser. We have equipped you with a secure VPN client. And finally, you can be fully productive when working from home without the need to travel. So Chris is finally safe. So applause. Thanks for that. So let's talk about a few more. By the way, thanks, Chris, for being my counterpart here. Not that it was prepared, but I think it was important to point out the options of Safelinx and where to use it. Let's look into the more technical requirements a bit. So what do you need to run a Safelinx server? On the infrastructure side, Safelinx runs on Windows or Linux, so Windows 28, 2012, and so on, or a Linux server on Red Hat or CentOS will just work fine. For authentication, I mentioned earlier, you need an LDAP server. The administrator needs a Java client. I have another chart explaining this in more details. And for the VPN capabilities, you just have a client for Windows, macOS, Linux, and Android. So basically, we are covering the majority of all platforms. And yeah, with that, we can quickly set up a reverse proxy or a VPN. Just to name a few numbers, the starting point is 2 CPU cores, 8 gig of memory, and 1 gigabyte of disk. So really, it is a server which has just very, very little CPU power, even less than your current smartphone has. And that already runs Safelinx. For the admin client, you need also 2 CPU cores, 4 gigs of memory, and that should just make you happy. The components we've just explained is the Safelinx server in the middle. We need an LDAP to do the authentication. There are some advanced authentication options. And the administrator uses a Java-based client to make configuration changes. The technology or the resulting functionality is proxy and VPN. And this already can provide all of what we've explained before. Of course, you can grow this environment to really large scale. And I just provided you with a screenshot here of an infrastructure of a very large deployment. If you are a large company, then we probably would like to talk about the specific implementation and scalability options. So if you would like to talk more about the scalability and special settings, you can of course ask us. You can also ask the HCL community, especially Detlef Pöttgen, who is an HCL ambassador here in Germany, and he is advocating for the HCL Safelinx, using this in a broader scale. So please connect to him if you have questions. Now, quickly running through our, meaning Chris and mine, real life scenarios of what we have seen in the wild. So Chris.
Thank you. Yeah, because of time, we make it short.
Yes.
So not just that we want to tell you how we think customers can work with it in our little role play here today. It's we already see customers are using it and using it in their real environment. So, for instance, customer A, which is from the manufacturing industry, wants to connect to Domino using Nomad without any VPN, but they want to do it secure. So they did pass through in the past and they want to get rid of it. And they have 700 users on HCL Domino, and they already have deployed 150 plus iPads. And what they do is they're using HCL Nomad heavily on their iPads. They are prepping all the apps for their users, and they're changing the apps to look a bit more modern on the mobile interface. And as for the past, they had to manually connect to VPN, which caused a lot of issues. and they want to reach the goal that there were no Domino servers available in the DMZ any longer, and they did with Safelinx.
Yeah, all right. And another scenario that is a scenario I ran into was a customer that all of a sudden had to change the way they provided IT services. So these were customers, a customer with 100,000, well, more than 100,000 users on Nodes Domino, and they had to deploy mobile devices quickly. So from almost nothing to more than 25,000 users on Traveler, on mobile devices. And that is a number of devices that a single Traveler server was not able to handle. So HCL Safelinx was used as the forefront, as the gateway, to be the entry point for all the smartphones and connect back to the Traveler servers in the DMZ. The customer was already using a Domino pass-through server for connecting Nomad and Nodes clients back to their infrastructure, but mobile email was something they had not deployed. So they really had to go and deploy this quickly. So Safelinx helped them quite a bit.
Another customer is a huge customer with more than 190,000 users on Domino, and it's let's say from the high secure regulated industry. And this customer wants to have a secure and single URL for all the users to connect, being able to connect to iNodes, and they still use iNodes in a couple of cases for a couple of users, and verse 2.0, and they want to use that additionally to their Nodes clients. So they really needed one single URL. And of course, they, because of 190,000 users plus, they needed with high availability. So that was the solution Safelinx gave to them, is one single URL in a high availability environment to use iNodes and verse 2.0 with a browser.
All right. And just another short example, because the previous examples were customers that have been using Domino before. Safelinx can, of course, also be used without Domino. And there was an example of a customer in, I think it was in the oil and gas industry, more than 10,000 users, and they wanted to implement a VPN solution, only a VPN solution. So they were focusing on which product will best fit their actual needs. And HCL Safelinx was evaluated against the well-known, well-established competitors in the market. And the customer did choose Safelinx simply because it provided the best functionality for the lowest cost and for the easiest deployment options. So really, it points out that it is a very, very interesting product that many of you should be looking at. And with that, and also for the sake of time, I think we quickly have to switch over to a small Q&A section. I see Vlad already has joined our call here. Vlad, hello, have you received any questions? And if so, what are they?
Thank you. Thank you for a great session. And I think it's really important for all of the listeners to know that HCL Safelinx is included. So no extra charge, just make your infrastructure safe. It's a good added value on top of existing Domino license. We have a question. I have a question. Does the Safelinx works also for iOS and Linux?
Let me see. Do we have a slide on that? Ketan, can I forward this? Okay. So Safelinx, here, this is the slide we had. Of course, the reverse proxy capability works on iOS and Linux as well. And there are VPN clients, but maybe Ketan, is there anything more you can say about this?
Yeah, so we are exploring the possibility to provide iOS client in future. Okay, but we don't have ET as of now, but certainly we are working on it.
Okay, great.
Okay.
We have a question, but I think you just answered it. So, is it possible to use a proxy feature for non-HCL products? And I think you, Thomas, just before the end answered that yes, it's possible. So
absolutely yes. It just needs to be an HTTP kind of protocol, and then it can be proxied. Yes.
Awesome. And we see that after acquisition from IBM, all HCL products, they work even better together. So we see that HCL Safelinx is, let's say, looks to be more integrated into Domino. Can you tell us about your plans? What will be in future?
Well, I can share a few thoughts what we have on the roadmap. So yes, of course, we would like to better integrate our products to make it easier for our customers to set up an environment with all of our products combined. Today, Safelinx is to be installed separately, especially if you want to use it in combination with Domino. It's a separate install, it's a separate configuration. But with HCL Nomad, there is a strong dependency on these two. I'm going to talk about this in more details in my session tomorrow, but the goal is that we better integrate these two and harmonize the administrator experience so that you don't have to install things separately and say have it completely integrated. So that's on the roadmap, but there's still some work to be done. For now, you've seen the example we did with Chris. Small changes, small configuration from an admin, but a big impact to the productivity of the end user. This is what we can do today.
That sounds awesome. And I think a lot of our customers and listeners will deploy and test it. And we are looking forward for your session tomorrow. Ketan, Christoph, Thomas, thank you for presenting and have a great day.
Thanks to all of you. It was fun.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Thomas.
Bye.
Bye-bye.